Hello everyone, Denny Williams, better known as Stretch. Reaching out to you from Louisville, Kentucky. My cancer diagnosis started back in January of 2022. I was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. It was stage 2 at the time, identified as adenocarcinoma. The tumor was located at the base of my esophagus, right where it enters your stomach. I received chemotherapy, radiation. Doctors perform a full esophagectomy, and then my treatments were complete. Today I want to talk to you about the mental health side of a cancer diagnosis. Going through treatments, I can honestly say the worst part for me was when those treatments were finished. When I was sent home to live a normal life, I didn't know how to do that. The mental side of it took effect immediately. And that's what I want to talk to you today about. So I've got 3 bullet points. One is the emotional impact. The second is adjustment and identity. And the third is the need for support. So let's get into those. The emotional impact. Obviously, a cancer diagnosis can trigger all kinds of emotions: fear, anxiety, sadness. For me, anger. And all these often lead to feelings of isolation and depression. And that's what really hit home for me. Again, as I said before, when I was sent home, that was almost the worst part for me, was how to deal with those emotions. As a male, I kept them inside. I didn't share those with anybody. And that's, I think, where I went wrong. The second bullet, the adjustment and identity, right? Survivors, you may struggle with changes in your body, right? Your images change from surgeries or from your treatments. Your role may change just in your daily life, through work, through your family. And then of course, your sense of self. You're not the same person you used to be, right? When cancer came into your life, you changed immediately. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. Probably depends on your certain circumstance, but your sense of self can change. And, your self-esteem needs to be adjusted. Your daily function needs to be adjusted. And there's not a lot out there that tells you maybe how to do that. Maybe how to get through those low points after your treatments, when you're at home by yourself, when all those thoughts are running through your head. There's nothing really out there that helps you get through those moments. And then the third thing, obviously, is the need for support. And this is probably the most important, right? As I mentioned before, I was a male. I was stubborn. I kept it inside. I didn't want to talk to anybody. That was my biggest mistake. I'm here today to tell you, please speak up, speak out. There are people there that will listen. And that's sometimes all you need, is just that ear to hear, to get those emotions out, for somebody to hear what you're feeling, right? And that might be a professional, you're right. The mental health professionals out there are fantastic. And if that's the route that you would like to take, I encourage you to do so. If that's not your avenue, please look out for support groups. Epic Experience is one of those, right? When I was introduced to Epic, I went to the week-long adventure camp back in March of 2023, a little over a year after my diagnosis. And it's exactly what I needed. It was me and a group of strangers that understood what I was going through. Everything that came out of my mouth, I could sit around the table and just see head nods. Everybody understood what I was talking about and what I was going through at that moment. If support groups aren't for you, I get it, but I encourage you to open up communication, whether that be a loved one, a friend, a coworker, anybody you feel close to. It is not healthy for you to keep all those emotions in. If you hear anything today, please find that support that you need. I appreciate your time. Thanks for listening. Again, the mental health side of a cancer diagnosis is just as important as the treatments. Make sure you take care of yourself. Be kind. And this is Stretch signing off. Take care. Bye.